Welcome to Jack's Kitchen. Today I want to share some tips I learned on how to make a scallion pancake to you. And these tips are very simple and useful, even though I do not cook usually, but I can learn how to make it after I learn these tips. So, how to do it? Just follow me, go. So this time, how many ingredients we need to make a scallion pancake? There are 6 ingredients we need. The first one is warm water and the scallion for sure, and it is cooked into the pieces, and the all-purpose flour, we can call it the plain flour, white sesame, and the 5th one is the salad oil, or specifically the soybean oil, and the salt. As to the tool, we need at least 3. The first one is like this, the roll. Later, we needed to roll the dough. And the brush, it would be convenient first to put a very thin layer the oil onto the dough. And this electronic scale to help us to get a precise amount of dough and water. Our first step is to mix the all-purpose flour with the warm water and the salt together. And then we will stir them on and on into a dough. And some tips I want to share here is the dough I use weighs 150 grams, and the warm water I use weighs 120 grams. Their proportion is 4 to 5. And this proportion should be precise. The more water we use, we make the dough to be sticky and hard to make a pancake. But the fewer water we use, we make the pancake to be hard to be chewed. And then we will use the salt, and the amount is only a spoon of the salt is enough. Can you see it clearly? And put it into the flour, and then put all the water into the flour as well, and to stir them like this to make them into a dough. And you will find, you will know that the dough is a little bit sticky. So that's fine. We have better to use all the flour and no leftover. And we need to continuously to stir it to make all the flour into a dough like this. That is our first step. And then we can begin our second step. In this step, we will fill the dough, and there are 3 rounds for us to do. And here I want to mention that you can use a mat or not. You can just put your dough onto the surface of the table. It is just an option. But before we begin our folding, we should put a thin layer of oil onto the surface, because it is a way to prevent the dough stick to the surface. That is very thin layer. And we can't put too much oil onto the surface, because that would cause our pancake to be greasy. So that's it. And then to put our dough onto the surface for folding. You see, it is very sticky. Yeah, and I want to mention that the amount of the dough is only half of the amount we just made, because my okay. And before we start our folding, we need to keep our hand clean. So we need to wash our hand before our folding. And now my hand is clean now. Why we should keep our hand clean? Because it is a way later on when we fold the dough, it can prevent our hand from sticking to the dough. And then we can use some oil first to put some oil onto our hands, and then we will use the roll. And this is the same. We can try to put some oil onto the roll to prevent later on the dough will stick onto the roll. And then we can to fold the dough. And one thing, so we can make it into the shape of a ball first. Like this. Like this. And then roll it into a very thin layer. You see, if we don't use to put the oil onto the roll, it must stick to the roll. And in my opinion, you can roll your dough in one direction like this. No need to 2 and 4, because it is a way to prevent the dough to stick to your roll. You see, it's like this. And we should make it as thin as possible. Like this. And then we will fold it. And how to fold? Okay, before folding, we need to brush a thin layer of oil onto the dough. And here, be careful that the layer of the oil should be very thin, because if you put too much oil onto the dough, it would only cause the pancake to be greasy. And then we will fold it. And I need some tips to tell you that we will fold it this way. You see. And then to move it back like this. Here we can put some oil onto it to prevent them stick together. and then fold it again. Until this dot becomes a line, like this, a line. And then we will circle it into a circle. We have to circle it like this shape. And then we will call it a one round. One round. In this one, we roll the dough into a very thin layer, and then we fold it like this, 2 and 4, 2 and 4, 2 and 4 until it becomes a line, and then we will circle it into this shape. It is one round, but we need to do 3 rounds for this this dough, because it's a way to create a lot of layer into the pancake. That's why when we eat the pancake, that we will feel why it is soft and have a lot of layers. And as to the second round, the first step is we should press it like this, and then to roll it into a very thin layer as well. But wait, before that, please allow me to brush a very thin layer of the oil onto it. And then roll it into a very thin layer. That's it. Thin layer. And then we should brush a thin layer of the oil onto the dough. Be careful on only thin layer. Otherwise, the food will become too greasy. And then we will fold it, but how? Like this. Okay. To fold it forward, and then to pull it backward, and then to fold it in the same way again, and to make it until it becomes a line. And then we will circle it. That's our second round. Like this. But for the third step, there will be a little bit different. On the same step as we should press it. Press it. Press it, and then to roll it into a very thin layer of the dough. But this time we don't need to brush the oil onto the surface. But what's the difference we should use the white sesame that we just mentioned when we prepare the ingredient, and just a very little amount like this to make the flavor better. And to put a lot of scallion onto the surface. And in my opinion, we can press down the first to prevent from falling later on. And then, use same way we can fold down forward and follow backward. Forward. I know it is hard to fold this sticky dough, but we should find a way to do so. And then to circle down into a circle. Like this. Okay, this is our second step. And a small tip I want to share is, if we don't want to fry the dough immediately, then we need a plastic bag, and to put the dough into a plastic bag, and maybe we need a rubber band to tightly, and put the whole dough into a refrigerator. It is a small tip. And then we roll the dough into a very thin layer before our frying. Like this. And the round shape would be highly recommended. So do whatever you could to make it look round. And here I want to point out we should make it as thin as possible. That would be helpful, be much convenient for it to fry. And then we might need a pan. And because I don't have a pan, so I replace it with a wok. And then we place the pancake onto the pan. Be careful, we should put the oil onto the pan before we fry. That is common sense. Yeah. And we need some time to fry it. And at first we need to make the surface hard before we to fry the different surface of the pancake. careful the pancake might stick to the pan. And here is my wok. You see, the surface has become hardened. And in the process of your frying, after the dough becomes hard, you can push it like this way. To make your pancake soften. We should push it again and again. And we will fry until you see the surface become dry. That's it. You see, it's much dry, and the surface all become hard. And because we push it again and again, we find this pancake become softened. And because we fold it on 3 runs, so you will see a lot of there. A lot of layer, you see in the pancake. That's why it is delicious. So we finish it. So it is an easy way to make a scallion pancake. Do you like it?